Actually have talked to a few Metro riders already this morning concerned about some of these proposed changes because for a lot of them, having the Metro, it's nice to have that option. And one of them is Jana. She's joining us this morning. We're practicing our balance right now. Jana, talk to me about why it's so important for you to be able to ride the Metro.
A tree fell on my car earlier last week, so my car is in the shop, and I need to get to work somehow, and I work in Chinatown, so the Metro is really the only option I have.
So whether it's a car breaking down, concerns about traffic, we're hearing a lot of these different types of stories. And you were saying too, you do have a car, but that's just not always the case for a lot of people here.
Oh, absolutely. And sometimes driving is cheaper, but a lot of times the Metro is cheaper. So that's definitely a financial decision as well.
What are your concerns when you hear about this budget deficit and the potential to raise those prices, which you talked about financing being a concern for some people as well? What goes through your head?
What goes through my head is really a lot of timing, and if there's a lot of trains being cut back, then maybe I won't be able to get to pick up my kids on time, so then I have to drive. And I guess I'm worried that the Metro might shut down stations because having a station close to my house is really important as well.
The last thing would be, what do you think should be the solution to something like this? The Metro's been asking people about that.
I don't know if I really have an idea of the solution, but I do think that a good public transportation system is important and something we should be proud of as a city.
Allie, how often do you take the Metro?
At least a couple times a week, 4 to 5, at least going to work, but also just for recreational purposes, seeing friends in the city, just going to DC, so I do rely on it.
So you're talking about relying on it a lot to get back and forth. Not a fan of driving, I get it, me too. So when you hear there might be fare increases, station closures, what does that mean for you?
It's just very inconvenient overall. I know myself, as well as a lot of people who live in Virginia, as well as Maryland, really rely on it to get into DC. So it's inconvenient because unfortunately we're still going to keep paying. So there should be something done that doesn't rely on the users to really make up for these lost costs.
When we think about traffic congestion, one of the major solutions is public transportation. And so what are some solutions you think that you would like to see? Is it, having more government involvement and help with some of that deficit?
Yeah. Yeah, because I simply just won't drive. I hate doing it. The costs of gas, tolls, parking is just way more inconvenient than the Metro. So I do think the government should help, as well as just not only the DC government, but Maryland and Virginia have to do their parts.